People of YouTube, what is the furthest you've gone in a game of Truth or Dare? Story 1. I was dared to ding-dong ditch two different neighbors repeatedly. Neighbor 1 was in the middle of the day, and got so pissed that he came out with a pitchfork and started jamming it into the bushes trying to find us. I live in a residential neighborhood, and we were all right across the street watching from behind a parked car. The second neighbor was at night, and he got mad enough that he came out in nothing but his bathrobe to go stand in the street corner holding his dog for about 20 minutes because he figured we'd gone up the street to hide, and that to get back to our houses in the cul-de-sac, we'd have to pass by him at some point. Holy cow, are these both just hilarious to watch. And although I was a kid, and am now 33, I would still gladly ding-dong ditch anyone if dared to, and if I had an escape plan. Some people really just don't have anything better to do. Like, I get being annoyed, but stabbing bushes with a pitchfork? You're really going to risk stabbing a child and enjoying your retirement behind bars because you got ding-dong ditched. Wow, alright. Story 2. Two of my friends and our girlfriends were playing Truth or Dare one night, and we were quite drunk when my friends decided they were going to make me tell on myself about me and a young lady going water skiing a few weeks back. Being the gentleman I am, kissing and telling was not on the itinerary that night, so once I realized what they were doing, I would only take dares. That night, I ended up wearing a light purple mini dress, white go-go boots, and a long brown wig while riding my motorcycle on the sidewalk in downtown El Cajon, California, and ended up spending the night in the drunk tank. Story 3. The one time I had to take off an article of clothing, I was wearing a long shirt, bike shorts, and had already taken off my skirt due to the heat. I was so glad I wore a crop top that day. It was really funny to see everyone's reactions to me pulling off my shirt, which I was glad to take off, to reveal me wearing a crop top when they thought I couldn't do the dare. Keep in mind, most of my friends were drunk teens, which made it even funnier as I was only one of two sober people in that room. That was the tamest dare that night though, funnily enough. Story 4. My twin sister had some of her friends over to a slumber party, and at around midnight they woke me up and said that we should play Strip Truth or Dare. The only reason they suggested to play was because this time there was a boy in the game, which was me. So anyway, it was too late when I realized that my sister's friends were intentionally stripping themselves down in front of me, and one thing led to another, and I'm a father now. I really hope those are two separate statements, but if not, then fuck dude, I am sorry you had that happen. Well, remember ladies and gentlemen, no glove, no love. You do not want to be caught in a situation like this. And to the guy who wrote this, thanks for sharing, man. That story is whack, and I hope you're doing alright. Story 5. When I was 7, I was dared to go into a dark closet with my friend in my room. Turns out, the door was very hard to get open after it was closed, so we awkwardly stood facing each other as my other friends panicked. No, this isn't some 18-plus dare, just a very scary experience for a 7-year-old. Story 6. Craziest one I had to experience? Some guy dared me to ask two of the girls in the room for some triple-down action. I'm not sure if he was trying to mess with me, or was just being a good wingman because he knew they liked me. But that night was awesome. And I still occasionally see one of those girls 20 years later. Let's hope he was wingmanning, because otherwise that would have sucked for him, just sitting back in the living room hearing all that go on. Whew. Instant regret. Story 7. When I was in college, one of the guys in my frat got dared to snort a line of menthol tobacco that he had because he was rolling smokes at the time. It was 6 in the morning, and we were all really sleep-deprived, so he did it without a second thought. Immediately after, he sits right back up and goes, "Oh God, I forgot that it was menthol!" Burned his nostrils for like an hour. Story 8. My family takes yearly trips with a few other families to Wales each year, and between the 3 families, there's probably around 10 kids, I'd say, myself included. One night, after we all got sent upstairs in our shared cabin for bed at the usual time of 10 p.m., we were all up playing on our phones and avoiding sleep when someone suggests Truth or Dare. So we all get in a circle on the floor, and at first it's fairly tame, but it gets real weird real quick. I can't recall the full details of everyone's Truth or Dares, but I was dared to suck my friend's greasy, sweaty-ass toe for no less than 2 full seconds. And it had to be fully in my mouth with my lips closed. I never realized how many vomit-inducing flavors and smells a single toe could hold on to. And I wish dearly that I could forget. Another person had to do a sort of king's cup, but with a smorgasbord of heavily over-garliced food. He pretty much couldn't taste anything at breakfast the next morning, whereas I was desperately trying to get rid of the last night's clusterfuck of flavor. 5 or so years later, I'm still scarred by my buddy's whack-ass feet touching my tongue. Good on you for following through, though. I sure as shit wouldn't have let my friend's toe go anywhere near my mouth. Story 9. In science class, someone dared me to get in trouble and then strip sprint around the entire school screaming when the teacher started telling me off. When I actually did it, everyone's jaw was on the floor. Best moment of my life. Story 10. I was dared to either make out with everyone in the room or let someone's pet spider crawl onto me. Being a panromantic arachnophobe, you can imagine which option I chose. They probably chose the spider. I mean, who wouldn't in that situation? And now on to the rapid fire segment for stories too short to make a full entry out of, but too good to be left out. Let's hop right in. I got everyone to swap, duplicate, and conjoin names. Utter chaos ensued that day. The furthest I've gone is getting 3 girls pregnant. I once had a dare to put a lighter on my birthmark on my wrist, and now it's more visible because it's pretty severely burnt. Beat the world record of several levels in a game because my crush dared me to. Worst investment of time into impressing a love interest ever. I got no clue how I'm not dead or have some permanent illness, but I ate a piece of dog shit once as a dare. Oh, I'm sorry. A piece of dog shit? Like a solid stick? Like a freaking O. Henry bar? Oh. No thanks. Why, dude? I got to do twins. Very fun, but very tiring. I was electrocuted once on a dare. I was dared to leave the party. I'd like to give a big thanks to everyone who gave me their stories for this video. The original video with those stories in the comments is here on the screen. It should be right now. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely go check that out. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I would really appreciate it. I'm ReddList. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.